Hello friends, I see Arshna Jain. Welcome you all. I wish and hope that we all are keeping well in this tough time. First of all, we should all congratulate ourselves that yes, we have played our part very well. Keeping aside all the losses, all the costs that we were bearing on our individual front, we have contributed well for the well-being of our family, our loved ones, our countrymen, and of course for our country. Together we can and we will fight out this COVID 19 pandemic. And we have proved that yes, this is our strength, this is our culture. Friends, the lockdown period has been extended up to 3rd May 2020. I'll just share what I feel. I feel that yes, I'll be having few more worry-free days to enjoy the sunsets, the sunrises, to enjoy the nature which is spread all across me. And of course, blessed to have few more days to breathe this cleaner and healthier air. So, with this positive note, I think we should start our deliberation. Today, friends, we will be discussing the circular number 137 oblique 07 oblique 2020 issued on 30th April 2020. This is a clarificatory circular. They have tagged some issues taking care of this current pandemic situation where there may have been receipt of advances, but the contract for the supply of those services may get cancelled in due course of time, or there may be some kind of supply of goods, but now the recipient has is not in position to take that what should I say, the delivery, or the goods are returned back. So how to handle those situations? And then of course they have issued some clarification for some compliance related issues also, like filing of LUT for the financial year 2021, your due date of GSTR 7, and what will be the fate of refund application where the due date or the relevant date falls between 20th March 2020 up to 29 June 2020, which has been extended by notification number 35 oblique 2020 dated 3rd April 2020. So one by one we will be discussing the provisions. So let's start. The first point talk about services. It says that you have received advance against the services and you have issued and tax invoice also before the supply of services. This is a common scenario. You can do so. So now what will be the fate of these kind of situation where you have issued a tax invoice, you have received the advances, but due course of time, the contract for supply get cancelled. So now there will be no supply. So they have given the option of two, they have given you two options. First option talk about as you have issued a tax invoice, so you can very well issue a credit note as per section 34, and you can map that in your monthly GSTR 1 or in your GSTR 1. And what will you do? That whatever the tax amount has been paid, you can set off with your output tax liability. So this is one remedy available. So in that case, when you have already set off with your output tax liability, there will be no applicable, there will be no requirement to file an additional refund application. But let's say, take a scenario where you don't have any output tax liability. So in that scenario, they have explained or they have clarified that in that case, if you don't have any output tax liability, what you can do is you can file a refund application in the form RFD01, and the category that you will be choosing will be excess payment of tax. So these both are the remedies available in this scenario. Let's move to the next scenario, what it talks about. So point number 2 talks about again a situation where you have received advance against services. So you have received advance for some services. Again, with due course of time, the contract or the contract to supply those services get cancelled. But in this scenario, you have not issued a tax invoice, but you have issued a receipt voucher. So again, if you have issued a receipt of voucher, that means you have already made some payment of taxes in the month. You have received the advances, because received against services, you have whatever received, you have received advance against some supply of services is a taxable thing. So now what will be the remedies available, because now there will be no supply. So they have clarified that in case where you have received these advances and you have issued a receipt voucher, what you have to do is you have to issue a refund voucher now, because you have to return the money. So you have to issue a refund voucher, and as these are receipt and refund vouchers, so you cannot issue a credit note as per section 34. So the remedy available for you in this aspect will be that you have to file a refund application and you have to file RFD01. Again, the category will be excess payment of tax. And third point which they have clarified pertains to goods. Goods supplied by a supplier under the cover of tax invoice. are returned back. Now there will be no supply. So what will we do? Again, in that case, as you have issued a tax invoice, you must have paid your tax liability. So you can issue a credit note. Again, you can set off with your output tax liability, and there will be no requirement for filing any refund application. In case similar thing happens that you don't have any output tax liability, then what will you do? So again, the remedy what they have suggested is that you need to file RFD01, the refund application, and the category that you will be selecting will be excess payment of tax. So again, two scenarios. In case of services also we have seen where there is a backing of tax invoice. Similar provisions are there in case of supply of goods also, where you have issued, obviously you have issued a tax invoice in that case also. So where tax invoice is involved, you can issue a credit note under section 34. And in case of receipt voucher, you have to issue a refund voucher, and you have the option of taking the refund under section 54. Fourth thing which they have clarified in this circular is pertaining to LUT. Because for the purpose of zero rated supplies without payment of tax and with the provision as per the provision of 96A, you need an LUT before making some exports. And in case your LUT get expired on 31st March 2020, and because of this lockdown situation, you are not able to renew your LUT, then what will be the fate of all those exports that you have to do in between these time period? So they have clarified, and it is a very big relief that yes, there will be no hindrance to your exports. You can do your zero rated supplies as you were doing earlier under Rule 89 only. What additional thing you will be required to do is that now, as you don't have any LUT for 2021, so one thing, you have to file it on or before 30th June 2020, as the timeline for the compliance has been decided by notification number 35 oblique 2020, that any compliance part that falls between March 20th March 2020 up to 29th June 2020 will be deemed as extended up to 30th June 2020. So here also the timeline will be deemed as extended up to 30th June 2020. So you have to file your LUT on or before 30th June 2020. And other thing what they have guided is that whatever export you will be doing in between that, where you don't have any LUT for 2021, you have to quote the reference number of LUT pertaining to year 2019-20. That means whatever LUT you have for the financial year that got expired on 31st March 2020, for all the zero rated supplies that you will be doing under Rule 989 during these time period of lockdown, you have to quote the reference number of that particular LUT. So this is one another clarification that they have clarified in this circular. Then they talks about the TDS aspect, that while making the payment of making payment to the recipient, amount equivalent to 1% as per section 51 is deducted as TDS. Now, whether the date of deposit of such payment also has been extended, wide notification 35/2020. So they have answered yes, it will be deemed extended, and whatever the date has been extended with this notification, it has been decided the new extended date will be 30th June 2020. So the new due date for filing GSTR 7 will be 30 on or before 30th June 2020. And one more thing they have clarified, that there will be no levy of interest under section 50 subsection 1 under section 50 for this thing also. So that means that you will not be charged, you will not be charged any interest for the late payment of the taxes. And for GSTR 7, the new due date will be 30th June 2020. The last thing which they have clarified is again related to refund under section 54 subsection 1. So they says, as per section 54 subsection 1, a person is required to make an application before the expiry of 2 years from the relevant date. And let's say that 2 years of from the relevant date falls between this time period which has been extended by notification number 35/2020. So then what will be the fate of those kind of refunds? Can I file those refund application on or before 29th July 2020? So they have clarified no. The new due date for all those timeline which is falling between the time period which has been extended by notification number 35 will be deemed as 30th June only. So you have to file your refund application on or before 30th June 2020. So these are the few clarification that they have clarified with this circular. It is very important circular, taking into context of the current situation of COVID-19. So I think this is a big relief to all those taxpayers who were facing some kind of difficulties in these kind of situation. So I think this is all what we have to discuss in this circular. And with this, my deliberation for the day comes to an end. And before I sign off, I'll just request you all to stay home, stay safe, stay blessed, and yes, plan your days so that these precious moments are lived to the fullest. We should all be blessed that yes, we are getting these time to spend with our loved ones, with our families. So, with these four lines, I'll sign off for the day. क्यों डरें कि जिंदगी में क्या होगा, हर वक्त क्यों सोचें कि बुरा ही होगा, बढ़ते रहें बस हम अपनी मंजिलों की ओर, कुछ ना भी मिला तो क्या, तजुर्बा तो होगा. Thank you so much. Take good care of yourself. See you soon. Goodbye.